activities and assessments. This video will discuss the difference between learning activities and assessments. We will also explore two of the most frequently used tools in our learning management system, the discussion tool and the Dropbox tool. This video explores instructional design. So what is the difference between learning activities and assessments? Learning activities are defined as activities designed or established by the instructor to bring about or create the conditions for learning. Some examples of learning activities include discussion boards, diagrams, charts, and concept maps, reading and reflecting, research activities, practice quizzes, blogs and journals, word clouds, case studies, and multimedia assignments. Assessments are defined as a wide variety of methods or tools used to evaluate, measure, and document academic readiness, learning progress, skill acquisition, or educational needs of students. Some examples of assessments include exams, essays, portfolios, presentations, complex projects, answering a question, surveys, quick quizzes, and multimedia assignments. A super simplified breakdown of the difference between learning activities and assessments is as follows. Learning activities create conditions for learning. This means that there may be revising, revisiting, and redirecting all in the name of learning occurring during these activities. While assessments are used to evaluate learning. Evaluations can occur throughout the learning process and are not just for the end of a unit or course. We will now discuss instructional technology tools. Technology tools are defined as the implements used to propel and support student instruction, learning, assessment, and opportunity. The two most commonly used tools are the discussion tool and the Dropbox tool. Discussions are a great place for learning and sharing to occur. There are many ways to use a discussion to propel learning, create a strong course presence, and build community. Some of those uses are resource sharing, group work, introductions, formative assessment, opinions, debates, peer review, presentations, learning community, brainstorming, and controversial topics. Here are 5 tips for effective discussion. Great discussion topics are debatable, involve opinions or require sharing of experiences, and will spur a discussion. Always include explicit instructions for an initial post, as well as including new questions to consider while writing response or follow-up posts. Make sure to provide due dates for both posting. Include multimedia. Instruct students to add photos, links to projects for their peers to review and offer feedback, or have them share other photos and videos relevant to course topics. Provide a rubric for discussions so that the learners have clear guidelines and expectations for posting and responding to discussions. Break large classes into smaller discussion groups to create more meaningful interactions. As an added bonus, here are 3 tips on what to avoid in an online discussion. Term paper length requirements. Rote memory answers. Everyone will have the same answers. This is a better fit for the Dropbox tool. Death by discussion, in which there are far too many discussions. Remember, discussions are meant to be used as learning activities, and though they can be assessed, their intended and most effective use is to further learning. Here are some examples of ways to enhance discussion questions. Take this question that has a single correct answer. What 5 food groups are displayed on my plate? And turn it into a question that can have multiple answers and invokes discussion, such as, there are 5 food groups displayed on my plate. What tips do you have for getting full servings of all 5 each day? Or this question, which also has a single correct answer. What is Sir Isaac Newton's first law of motion? And turn it into a question that applies learning to current events, such as, share and explain an example of Newton's first law of motion at work in recent headlines. Or take chapter questions that ask for regurgitated answers or answers that everyone will likely answer in the same way, such as answer the chapter 5 questions over student assessment. And turn it into a question that requires analysis and application of the chapter information, such as many educators believe that quizzes and exams are the only true way to gauge student knowledge. Is this accurate? Elaborate on your response and provide examples from Chapter 5 to illustrate your point. No matter what your subject area, discussions should be relevant, authentic, and intentional. Now we will talk about the Dropbox tool. Dropbox is a great place for assessment to occur. Think of it as your virtual inbox, where students can turn in assessments and activities such as math problems, links to videos, infographics, essays, charts, diagrams, presentations, podcasts, multimedia assignments, business plans, really just about anything you can think of that a student would submit in a traditional course can be submitted virtually. Here are 6 tips for effective Dropbox assignments. Provide clear purpose and rationale. Clearly articulate evaluation and assessment criteria. Connect multiple parts of the course by creating dynamic assignments that integrate multiple ideas and topics covered. Communicate detailed instructions and prompts. Use the description box in addition to the syllabus and any attached documents. Provide rubrics. These can be attached directly to the Dropbox and help to clearly articulate expectations. They are also helpful in providing feedback when grading. Post very clear due dates. As an added bonus, here are 3 tips on what to avoid. Rambling and vague instructions. Adding large assignments at the last minute. Don't always assume that students will know assignment parameters, such as length, formatting, or citation conventions. Give them resources to make sure that they're following the guidelines you are expecting. You now have basic knowledge of learning activities and assessments.